Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Women of Golf Show. I'm Ted Odorico, and joining me is LPGA professional Cindy Miller, and we are your hosts. We're broadcasting live every Tuesday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern here on the blogtalkradio.com network, bringing you some of the best golfers, teacher professionals, and entrepreneurs helping to elevate women's golf. We're so glad you decided to join us this morning, so grab your coffee and let's get started. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. We're very excited to have you on board. I'm Ted Odorico, and right alongside, of course, each and every week is none other than Legends Tour player and LPGA professional Cindy Miller, and we are your hosts here on the Women of Golf Show. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Ted. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We're actually having a little bit cooler weather down here in Florida, which has been nice because we're getting away from that hot, steamy weather we've had all summer. So I'm really happy about that, just to get a little bit of cool weather. What's going on up in Buffalo?
I happen to be in Orlando.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
it's Where's Waldo? Where is Cindy this week? I am a Grammy this week. I am babysitting two little adorable girls while our daughter is in Tokyo, Japan with Tiger Woods for the Skins game and the Zozo Championship. Anyway, so it's not that cool here. It's like hot, muggy, really humid. Yeah. So this few hours south of you is amazing.
Yeah. It's actually not really terrible here, but it's been a little bit of a reprieve here over the last little while. We've had some hot, muggy weather here all season long, so it's just kind of nice to have some traditional fall weather. But obviously, welcome aboard, Cindy. We're glad to be doing the show this morning. All right, we've got two great winners here from the Symetra Tour's Volvic Race for the Card. These young ladies obviously have been in pursuit of their LPGA Tour cards. First up is Patty Tavatanakit. And I'll tell you a little bit about her, and then we'll bring her on board because I see she's ready. And then a little bit later on in the show, we're going to be joined by the number 3 spot, Jenny Coleman. So Patty, 20, is a native of Bangkok, Thailand. She attended the Kirapat International School in her native country, winner of the Callaway Junior World Golf Championship in 2014, and named in the 2016 American Junior Golf Association, or AJGA Player of the Year. Had 3 victories and 6 top 15s in 11 starts as a rookie on the Symetra Tour in 2019 to end the year at the number 2 spot in the Volvic Race for the Card and earn her LPGA Tour membership for 2020. So, Cindy, let's welcome our first guest this morning, Patty Tavatanakit.
Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Glad to be back. How are you guys?
Good. We want to need you every week, and you want us to need you every week, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So where are you this morning, Patty?
I'm actually in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
let's go hit balls.
Yeah, I'm here visiting a friend, and we played some golf, and then I just got back from New York last week. So yeah, it's been fun all season. Just get some rest a little bit, and now I'm kind of head back into the game though. So yeah.
Well,
everybody
you get a little bit of
break.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. You guys have been working pretty hard this season. Congratulations, first and foremost, on finishing in the top 10, number 2 spot actually.
Thank you.
For the Volvic Race for the Card. I know it's been a grind all season long, but for a lot of the girls out there, but you've been a shining star this season with victories, and we're glad to have you back on the show. Cindy, let me just start real quick, and then I'll throw it back over to you. So you had 3 victories, and as I mentioned, 6 top 15s in your 11 starts as a rookie. And as I mentioned, you got on the Volvic Race for the Card, the number 2 spot. So you've got to be riding pretty high and have a lot of confidence right now in preparation for next season. How is your confidence right now? What do you really feel now that the season's over?
It's a big relief for sure. But you know what? Like, my mentality of going into next year is that it's not going to be any easier. So yeah, I have my confidence from what I've earned this year so far. But then like I'm going to put that into hard work and discipline for off season and just grind it out. Trying to get better as a player. So I'm looking forward, to next year, and like it's gonna be tough, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the grind.
What was the hardest part this? Yeah, very well said. What was the hardest part for you this season? What did you find, and what did you struggle with most throughout the year?
I think I struggle with I think towards the end, like I didn't really have the motivation to play. Just because of like I'm a little tired and then like we're back in the heat kind of. We played the last two tournaments in Florida, and that was a lot for me. The hardest part was, I think, adjusting to each like weather in different places for me. Like South Dakota was cold and I love cold weather. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna play good there, but then like, when I'm in like hot weather and I'm sweating a lot, I just tend to get heated pretty easily. I don't know why, which like I grew up in this kind of weather. But I think that's like my main struggle for this year, and that of course affected my game a little bit. But you know what? Like I'm gonna go back and train in Thailand, and it's gonna be hot, I know. So I'm just gonna train and then get used to feeling hot and like sweating at the same time when I play, because I've been spoiled by LA weather for the past 2 years. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, well said. Well, you know what? That's very true. I mean, and Cindy, who played for a number of years on the LPGA and now on the Legends Tour, I'm sure, Cindy, you can attest to that. What it's like to, when you're traveling different areas like that. 1 minute's cool, and the next minute you're sweating buckets. So it's quite a contrast. Cindy, go ahead. I know you've got some questions.
So when are you going back to Thailand?
Actually, this Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long will you be there?
I'm gonna be there for a little bit because, like when I'm home, I don't get work done. And like there's like a bunch of my friends that wants to catch up. So I'm just gonna like keep it low key, like I'm going back, like I'm not letting anyone know, just so I can have my private rest time and like not trying to do everything with everyone. But I'm gonna be there from next week until the 15th of December, and come back here and train. So I have that like 3 weeks in the U.S. and just get adjusted with the time zone, because I have my trainer back in LA, and so I can just focus on my training a little better before my first tournament in Florida.
Awesome. And when's the tour start next year?
January. I believe it's the third week of January.
Now, are you totally exempt for the whole year?
Yeah.
I mean, will you get in every tournament?
Yeah, we have a pretty good status, and we don't get reshuffle this year, from what I heard. So I'm very pumped that I can, like plan out my schedule and not wait until like the last minute, last couple of weeks to decide if I'm gonna get in or like I'm gonna go to this event. So I think with the status I have and like the other 10 girls that finished in top 10 on my list, I think we have a pretty good status for next year, and it's gonna be a little easier and a little predictable in terms of choosing tournaments to play and scheduling out your plan and stuff.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
Now, will you get in the Diamond Resorts?
No,
Celebrity Challenge?
I believe that one is for the champions from last year.
Okay, got it.
That's
a
what
limited
I
field
think.
event. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So my first event will be in. I don't remember the name of the event, but it's in Florida.
Perfect.
I mean,
Back in the
I looked
back
at
in the heat.
the schedule, and it was just like a lot of tournaments. So I was like, "Yep, it's in Florida," and then to Australia.
Wow.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah. So I think we start off with the Diamond Resort, and then another event in Florida, and then a week off, and then we go straight to Australia 2 weeks in a row, and then after that is Thailand, Singapore, and China.
Well, hello. You better rest. Let me ask you this: Do you have a caddy for the whole year?
Oh, this year?
No, for next year.
Oh, for next year. I'm still keeping my options open. I mean, a couple of people have reached out, and then I have this one guy that I really like. We work together at ANA, and we bonded really well. And I think he caddies for Challenge Hoy right now, so I don't know what he's doing next year, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't have a caddy right now.
Do you know Worth Blackwelder?
Mm-mm.
Do you know Mallory Blackwelder?
Nope.
Okay. Worth was out caddying for Karen Stupples last week at the LPGA Senior Championship.
Oh, okay.
He's a good friend, and his wife Myra played on tour, and Mallory played on tour, and they're like the golf family.
Oh,
He's
nice.
pretty good. He used to caddy for Christy Kerr, which is cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead, Ted.
All right, so Patty, you obviously had a very good season, but there's always a part of the game that really sort of stands out for you. What really helped you through the season? Was it your short game, something specific like putting, or was it your long game? What part really helped you come through the season?
I think my ball striking has been solid ever since I turned pro, which is unheard of compared to how I was hitting in college before I end the season. But I mean, I guess when my swing is on point and like I'm hitting pretty solid, that's when I score the best in the past. I guess my putting is like here and there, it's not consistent. But when I can putt, like I shoot low, because like I hit it pretty close. So I would think ball striking is my main strength for this year. And then second of all would be putting. So like there's days that I would make putts, but there's tournaments where I like consistently would make this range, would like putt fine. And there would be weeks where I don't make anything at all, but I win 3 putts.
Wow. Yeah, and I think it's like that for a lot of players. One week, your putting's on, but maybe your ball striking isn't, the best, and then it kind of flips some, for a lot of the players. So, so what are you going to do to, you mentioned you're going to take some time off, which obviously you need to do after a tough season. But what specifically, is there anything specific you're going to work on to prepare for next year? Besides the physical game, what about the mental game? Is there things that you're going to do to kind of really mentally prepare yourself?
Yes, I do. So I went to Vision 54 before my last 2 tournaments, and they gave me a bunch of stuff for off-season work, and I'm going to work on that for sure. I'm going to split my practices in like maybe 2 hours on mechanics, 2 hours putting, and then another 2 hours just the mental stuff, as in like play box, think box, memory box, and walk into each shot. It's fun. I tried it with PM Lynn, Tiffany, and Kristen. Like it's so helpful, and it makes my practice goes by really fast. So I think I'm gonna do that, and it helps prepare you for a lot of situations on the golf course, because like if you just practice right there. It's a block practice, and we don't get that situation when we're on the course. So it's important to practice like that. Practice like you're going to play, and practice with purpose, because everyone's going to be rusty the first tournament of the year, because like everyone's been resting, like been doing a lot of work. But I think having that practice schedule would help me just have a better start, or like better preparation for my first tournament. So that's what I'm going to do. And I haven't really planned out a whole lot. I would have to go back and sit down and write my program and everything too, and I'll send it to them.
Right, and you're going to have obviously time to get that organized with your downtime and before you come back out next season. What obviously you're looking forward to getting out there next year. But one thing I know, and I'm sure you can attest to with the schedule you had this year, next year is going to be even more of a grind. Are you going to pace yourself? One of the things I've noticed with a lot of players that first get out on the big tours is they want to get into every single event. And, that's great in theory, but, with the travel that you just mentioned, you're Australia and Bangkok and, or Thailand rather, and so on, you can get burned out really easy early in the season. Are you going to try to pace yourself out through the season and maybe not necessarily get into every tournament?
My dad, he wants me to play in every single event. And I was like, Dad, like, look, come on, like, I'd rather just skip a week and, like, have a better preparation for the next week. Because I know, because I did 6 weeks in a row, and that was hell for me. Like, it was so tiring to the point where, like, I came home and I didn't want to do anything. And, like, I don't want to have that feeling because, like, if you're doing things, like, equally and spread out, like, okay, let's play, like, 4 weeks, that's fine. And then you come back home, you have the energy to fix your swing, to fix what you need to be fixed for the next week. So it's all about managing my energy. So, no, I'm not planning to play every single week.
Right, that's smart.
There will be
time.
I am.
I mean, that's something I think a lot of people forget is, you've got to have good time management. I mean, it's great to have a solid ball striking and great on the putting surface, but, if you're not managing your time effectively, you can, as you pointed out, you can burn out real quick. And it's nice and encouraging that your dad wants you to play every single event, but, it's probably not realistic.
No.
Let me ask you something. Now that you've just finished out on the Symetra Tour and you're going to the LPGA, there's going to be, as it were, a new crop of young ladies coming up on the Symetra Tour. What advice to those just starting out on the Symetra would you give to them based on your experience?
I think the main thing is, just be grateful that you are where you are, because a lot of the girls on the Symetra Tour, like, I feel that's what I sense at least, or that's what got me through the season, is that I am grateful and I'm just being positive every single week. Like, like I'm here playing golf and I'm going to be happy. That's the one thing that got me through every single week, because, like Symetra Tour events, it's not the glamorous. It's not like an LPGA Tour event. It's like the courses we go to, the places we go to, sometimes it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
But then you just gotta, I think being positive what helped me get through the season, because sometimes, like, I would complain about, like, me being here and all that stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful to be here. I'm here to play golf. I'm here to do what I love to do, and I'm going to have fun. So I think having that mentality would help anyone go through a tough week or, even a tough day. So
attitude.
That's the one advice I would give to anyone.
Yeah, having a positive attitude, I agree. I think it's vital no matter what you do, and you really speak volumes when you say that you're doing something that you love to do, and I think that all of the players, whether it be Symetra, LPGA, or any other tour, really need to reflect and be grateful because they are doing something that they love doing, and it can be difficult at times, it can be tough at times, but there's a lot of other things that can be equally as tough out there, and you ladies have it pretty good. Cindy, any final thoughts or questions for Patty before we let her go?
No, but I'm very proud of you to have such a great attitude and be grateful and work your butt off and pace yourself. I mean, you love playing golf, so go do it to the best of your ability and have some fun. And this is going to be the long haul. Don't think, it's just 1 year and I got to go. No, this is for a long, long time. So good luck.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey.
Good luck, Patty, and have a great 2020 season out on the LPGA. And I hope you'll come back and visit us again sometime.
Yeah, just hit me up whenever you guys need me.
Sounds good.
We will.
Have a good one, Patty.
Right.
Go get some rest and have a good off season. You're very, very welcome. Okay. Congratulations again.
All right. I hope you guys have a good day.
You
All right.
too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. That was Patty Tavatanakit, obviously needing some rest for the season. I think she was a little tired this morning. You could hear it in her voice. It's been a tough season for the girls. Cindy out on the Symetra Tour. I mean, she pointed out they had several weeks back-to-back, and that really takes a toll. And then to end it in Florida where it's a little warmer and obviously she, despite being from a warm climate, it still takes its toll even on somebody like her. So, but we wish her well, and we're going to talk with another young lady who's making her way out on the LPGA, Jenny Coleman, here in just a moment. But first, Cindy, go ahead and let's set up the clip, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you're doing down in Orlando.
Well, so many people need to learn to use the game of golf as a business tool, but they're all afraid to do so. So have a listen.
Everyone knows business deals are made on the golf course. Knowing how to act is just as important as how you hit it. As an LPGA professional and corporate trainer, I offer workshops, seminars, and executive retreats to teach you how to do both. From the back nine to the boardroom, improve your team from the inside out, or Golf 101 for executives might be the perfect fit for your team. Maybe it's time to make some deals on the course. For more information, go to cindymillerinc.com.
All right, well said. And be sure, everyone, after the show to go to cindymillerinc.com to connect with Cindy and let her help you not only out on the golf course, but in the boardroom as well around this great game. All right, so Cindy, as you were mentioning off air, and then you confirmed it coming on air that you're down in Orlando. So what's happening down there?
Well, I'm being a grandmother this week. Our daughter, Kelly, works for Golf Channel, and she is senior talent booking producer for Morning Drive. And she is in Japan, in Tokyo, with the Golf Channel and for the Tiger Woods and Jason Day shootout and then the Zozo Championship. So gratefully, it's getting to be a little chilly in Buffalo, and my husband and I can come down here and watch the two girls. So we're here for the week.
Very good. Now, you also mentioned, too, something about your boot camps. What's happening on the boot camp front?
Yeah, so I'm going home for 5 days. Then I come back for the LPGA National Summit. And then I'm doing a boot camp at Orange County National. And boot camps are anywhere from 3 to 4 days. It's not a golf vacation. It's boot camp for a reason. We have breakfast in the morning. We do instruction from 9 till noon. We have lunch, and then we play 18 holes every day. So if you really, really, really want to get better and commit, I would email me, Cindy@cindymillergolf.com, and say, what's going on with boot camp? Let me have some information. We've got one in November, 2 in February, 1 in March, and 1 in April of 2020, Orange County National in Orlando, Florida.
Very good. And I know that you and Alan really enjoy doing these boot camps. What specifically, obviously you're helping some golfers, and you do golfers of varying ages, because I know you've had some younger students as well at these boot camps. Now, what do you really enjoy most about doing these boot camps?
Well, to be honest with you, in Buffalo, I'm kind of like the 30-minute quick fix-it queen. So I'm really good at helping you get better really fast. The problem is you leave, and then you don't practice, and then you come back. And then I fix you,
right.
And then you leave, and you don't practice, and then you come back. So boot camp is we're going to really fix what you're doing. We're going to make sure you're really clear with what the issue is, that you understand what the solution is, that you're comfortable with what you're doing so that you can gain confidence so that you can be more consistent. So it's clear, comfortable, confident, consistent. And because we play with you, you know, we're not just range rats.
Right.
It's kind of like Patty was just saying, you have to do block practices, you know, rake and hit, rake and hit, rake and hit. No, we're going to take you out on the golf course and make sure you can produce golf shots when it counts. So that's what I love about boot camp. We take a deep dive into helping you change your game forever.
Yeah, and that's important too, Cindy, because you and I have talked about this before on the show many, many times. Obviously range time is important. You got to get out there and get some of the kinks out there, but then you've got to take that game, if you will, out on the golf course, because the conditions, you're not going to get a perfect lie out in the golf course. In fact, if you do, give me a call because I want to know where that perfect lie is, because I don't get too many of them when I play. But you want to be able to translate all of that knowledge and that skill out in the golf course and put it together. So I think that's fantastic that, you and Alan do that. You obviously, have some time to really dive deep, as you said, into some of the issues that the folks might have. But then now you're going to really see how they put it all together out in the golf course. And that gives you also some great feedback for the next day, after your first session, and that you can kind of get an idea. Are they understanding what it is that we're explaining to them? Are they really putting it into practice, or do we need some more work here and there?
Yeah, and we've got the time to do that, which makes it it's so much easier. You really get a lot done. So yes, it's expensive, but if you're really looking to change your game and get better, it's well worth the investment.
Well, and also, no, I agree. And it's like anything, you get out of it what you put into it. And, I understand, obviously, in this time, if you will, everybody's, struggling to find 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there. And, it's great to get some first-class instruction. But as you pointed out, if you're not going to go and practice, what you've been taught and put the effort in to improve in those areas, then it's really for naught. And, this boot camp gives you, like I said, not only you as a coach to really work with the students, but it gives them an opportunity to really ingrain some of that and take a lot of that information in. Because, again, obviously in reality we have to do what we do, and sometimes it might be 30 minutes, sometimes we might be lucky and get an hour. But for a lot of people that are willing to spend the time and effort and the finances to really get a strong assessment and really get some solid help with their game are going to benefit. And then the other thing, too, that I really like about what you're doing is you're giving them the tools to be able to handle those situations and recover away from the golf, not the golf course, but away from you. So, they're able to fix themselves a little bit to a certain degree. And I think that knowledge is power. Yeah, knowledge is power. So, all right.
Yeah, you got to be able to
Cindy.
recover on your own.
Right, exactly, because you know what, Cindy Miller isn't going to be there every time you're out in the golf course. I mean, she might be in your head sometimes, but which is good. But you've got to have those tools when you're out in the golf course because it's just you and the element. So, well done to you and Alan for doing what you do. All right, we've got our second Symetra Tour, or should I say, former Symetra Tour player, now heading to the LPGA next season. Who finished actually number 3 on the Volvic Race for the Card this season, Jenny Coleman. Let me just tell everybody a little bit about her, and then Cindy will welcome her to the show. Jenny Coleman is she's 27 and from Rolling Hills Estate, California. She had 1 victory in top 10 performances in her 4-year University of Colorado career. She holds or shares 28 program records, including most events, 47, and rounds played, 139. She had 16 career top 10s on the Symetra Tour, 34 with a score under par, and made 76 career starts on the Symetra Tour with a career best runner-up result at the 2019 Danielle Downey Credit Union Classic. And as I mentioned, she finished in the number 3 spot on the Volvic Race for the Card this season and heads next season to the LPGA Tour. So let's welcome, Cindy, our second guest this morning, Jenny Coleman.
Good morning.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being on. Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You've got to be so
Well,
psyched.
I think they're all very, very happy this season. And Jenny, you've obviously, again, congratulations. You've got to be very happy with your performance here to be able to get into the top 10, which obviously earns your card for next season. So let me start off. You played a very solid season this past year on the Symetra Tour, finishing again, as I mentioned, number 3 and getting your card. What do you think, though, based on your understanding of how you played this season, what do you think, or what part of your game needs the most improvement, do you think, in order to have a successful 2020 next year on LPGA?
I think just playing the game that I played this year should be pretty good. Usually my ball striking is my strong suit, so just keep that sharp. And usually it's my short game that's hit and miss. So if I can just get that one more up and down or make that 1 or 2 more birdies, it makes a lot of a difference. So I think if I just keep an all-around sharp game, it should do the trick.
Is there an area of your game, whether it be putting or off the tee, that you've struggled with a little bit this season? Obviously not enough that it affected you overall, but that you're going to be mindful of in your preparation in the off season to get ready for next season. Is there a part of your game that you're really going to focus on in the off season?
Probably my chipping, getting up and down is probably where I'm definitely going to work on. It's usually somewhere that my up and down percentages are pretty low, either on the grass, rough, sand. So that's definitely somewhere that I got to improve on, especially out there. It's only going to get harder. The rough's only going to be longer. The bunkers are going to be harder to get out of. So I think that's where I should put my focus on in this off season.
Very good. Now, are you back in California now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so you're home for a little bit. I'm assuming you're taking some downtime before next year. What are you going to do in the next, say, several weeks? Are you going to just kind of relax and breathe easy that the season's over and you got a little bit of time before you head out in the next year to the LPGA? What are you going to do to sort of relax for a while? Or are you going to relax?
A little bit of relaxing, not too much though. Just a good balance of little relax, gym, golf, a little more practice oriented than playing holes on the course oriented, but still doing a good balance of everything.
Very good. What about when you do take some downtime? Are there other things besides golf? I mean, obviously golf is something that you're passionate about, or you wouldn't be out here. What do you enjoy doing when you're not playing golf? Do you in your downtime?
I like to play a little tennis, actually. Just gotten into also pickleball. It's like on a smaller court. So, yeah, I mean, it's fast-paced.
Are you old enough for pickleball?
I'm not in the general age of the players, but I still have a good time with it.
Good for you. I've got a couple questions. When you said my ball striking has been really good, I want to know what your right brain, dumb blonde thought process is when you're standing over a shot and you're going to swing. Do you have a couple little simple keys?
I'm usually pretty over the ball. I'm pretty just not thinking about too much. I kind of just plan the shot beforehand, do a little practice swing. If I'm going to work on like one thing in my swing, I'll do it in the practice swing, and then when I get over the ball, I'm pretty much thinking about nothing other than just keep a nice smooth tempo and let the ball do its thing and let it go.
So when you prepare to hit a shot, let's say we've got a 100-yard shot over a bunker and the pin's on 10, okay? And the wind's in your face and you just want to hit it straight. What club would you take and what's your process?
Let's see, 100 yards pin. How much
on
room
10.
to the bunker?
You've got
on
10
10.
yards over the bunker. Yeah, it's on 10.
On 10 into the wind. So I'm thinking if it's into the wind, landing it on the pin, maybe 5 yards short. Just hit a nice low, strong gap wedge. Just hit something that pierces the wind good, but also not trying to hit this like super high floaty pitching wedge that will snap up in the wind, and who knows if it'll drop
Come
short
back
or
in
drop
your
far.
face and hit you.
It's a
yeah.
nice low,
I get it.
controlled, strong gap wedge. Almost feel like you're
Cool.
hitting like a little draw.
Awesome. So when you practice, so I'm assuming you've worked on your swing a lot, or you wouldn't be where you are. You're at the point where the only thing you need to think about is tempo and pace?
Yeah, especially when I'm on the course. I think there's a difference between on the course and off the course. On the course, just tempo. Only if things are starting to go sideways is when you got to do some little adjustments. But otherwise, on the range, that's definitely where I'm working on my swing keys and just grinding it out and hitting balls and looking at video. So, yeah, definitely the difference between on the course and off. Tournament round and
Awesome.
practice round.
Got it. When you play a practice round, what do you do with the greens? Do you walk off the greens and make notes and maps on the yardage book?
Yeah, so I'll get the yardage book and I'll have a little picture of the green on it. And I'll see what kind of little slopes that they'll put in for some ridges and stuff and double check kind of just visually. And some of them I'll pace if they're very important. And then I'll just do general slopes on my book on the flatter areas that it says and just have an idea of which way the entire green's tilting or certain sections too.
Awesome. Would you consider yourself an analytical player or more of a feel, right-brained person?
I think I'm definitely like an analytical preparation person. I'm like a very numbers-oriented and strategy-oriented kind of person. But when I'm over the ball, I just do my thing and just feel it and hit it. But depending on that lie, your body just tells you what to do subconsciously and you do it. So I'd say
That's
a little
awesome.
bit of both, but
so
mostly,
how long
mostly
did
analytical.
it take you? Yeah, how long did it take you to understand and learn that?
It took a while. I think it took until my professional career to really get into that, because I think in college and stuff I was still too analytical over the shot, either thinking about the number too much or like a little bit of a swing change kind of thing. I think it's just in my professional careers when I made the switch.
So you've played on the LPGA Tour a couple years ago, right?
Yes.
How much easier, I can tell you how much easier it's going to be that you've already been there once, because the first year you're out there, you're like, okay, where are we going? What course is it? I have to play a practice round. So you have to be so excited, even though it had to suck to lose your card and you have to go back to Symetra. This is like a blessing in disguise. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, was great to have conditional status, but it was a good way to kind of get my feet wet and figure out, okay, at least I know a couple of the courses, where the ranges are, like where to go, and just practice schedules and how they set up the courses, and just all these little things about how it's a little bit different out there than Symetra and any other tournaments that I've played.
Absolutely. I got news for you. If you keep that same mindset, you're going to win a tournament this next year. That's going to be so awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Ted, go ahead.
So, Jenny, let me ask you, I'm still caught on the pickleball here. I'm curious, what possessed you to, because that's not something normally someone your age would be interested in. How did you get involved in playing pickleball?
So out at my course back home, they have tennis courts, and they recently started bringing out some pickleball nets and equipment, and just decided, and there's already some lines drawn for it, so I decided,
right.
You know what, let's give it a whirl, try and Google the rules and stuff, but still not perfect. Like to get in that, the kitchen, sometimes get a little aggressive in there, but it's all fun.
Yeah, I agree. I know the first time that I saw it was I had gone down to visit in the villages in Central Florida, and it's huge down there. So you're going to be well ahead of the game when time passes on, getting an early start. All kidding aside, so let me ask you, Jenny. We had Patty Tavatanakit on before, and she talked about some of the challenges that she had with the travel and having back-to-back, several back-to-back tournaments. And then also for her, despite being from a warm climate, she found it sometimes difficult transitioning from, a much cooler climate, which she actually enjoyed, to playing as you did towards the end of the season down in Florida, where it was a little more hot and steamy. Now, you being from California, for the most part, I'm not sure, are you in Southern California or whereabouts are you?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California, just south of LA.
Okay, so it gets pretty warm down there too. Did you find, what were some of the struggles, not so much with your game, but with the travel? Did you find the travel difficult this season at times? And do you adjust pretty quickly when it comes to, different climate situations? Do you have preferences that you like to play? Like, do you prefer cooler temperatures? Is that, good for your game? Or do you like it a little bit warmer?
I think the travel, I've been played on the Symetra for a few years, so the travel kind of gets more similar. Definitely those first couple years, it's kind of a shock of, you've got a 10-hour drive coming up, and then you've got 4 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row, and I think this year we had an 8-weeker, so that was the longest I've ever done. That was very tough, physically, mentally, just dealing with the golf course, let alone then the travel that goes with it too. Is you just have to be patient. I prefer cooler weather, I'd say, but you just have to adjust to your conditions. If it's really hot out, just start drinking a lot of water and just prepare for what's to come.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do, obviously. But now, what about as far as, you mentioned, and I do remember this season because we had quite a few of the winners on throughout the year. There was that stretch, I think, like you said, 7 or 8 tournaments in a row. So it obviously wears on you, especially adding the travel in there. Never mind, actually playing in the events and practicing and so forth, but you've got that travel there as well. What do you do? Are you someone that's pretty diligent with a workout routine? What do you do to keep your energy levels up?
I usually just like to schedule my practice. Try and get out there in the morning, get get everything done, get a practice warm up, play 9 or 18, whatever you're feeling that day, and then a nice planned practice after it, and then just call it a day. I mean, you can't be out there for 12 hours a day and expect it to be sharp. Just make sure you have a very focused practice and use your time efficiently and effectively.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you've got to, you've got to find balance in, regardless of what it is that you do, and when you've got a hectic schedule like you guys have, playing in events, several weeks in a row, and sometimes with very little downtime in between, you've got to make the most of it, and you've got to organize your time wisely, because it can get very easy. And we've, had a number of the winners come on, and there were moments throughout the season that they kind of hit some low points. It really got to them, it wore on them, and then once they kind of moved that aside and changed their attitude and looked at it from a different perspective, lo and behold, they would, win the event and, the week following, so forth. So, attitude, I think, is paramount. I've got just 2 final questions for you, and they're kind of similar, but first and foremost, if you had the ears of a group of young girls that were not in the golf industry per se in any way, shape, or form, but maybe had an interest, and I'm talking about very young girls, much younger than yourself, what advice would you give them if they had aspirations of maybe doing something like what you're doing?
I'd say give it a shot. You don't know what you can do until you really fully put your mind and efforts towards it. I mean, if you don't ever give it a shot, you won't ever know. So I think you got to give it a shot, even if it's just to try the game or not. Just try, go hit some balls on the range, try it for a few weeks, every once in a while, try it for a couple of years and see what happens. Just go play and have fun with it, and slowly build your way into it.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice. And the other question I have, as we asked Patty this as well, now that you're moving on to the LPGA, there's going to be a new crop of young ladies coming out on the Symetra Tour for the very first time. Certainly, obviously, they've had experience, whether it be collegiate or otherwise, but this is going to be the first time in this type of format, perhaps, for them. What advice would you give them starting out?
I'd say probably just consult in like a veteran or someone that's been out in Symetra for a couple of years, and just they can always give them some tips and tricks on how to manage your time, what's expected at like pro-am parties, and they've played the course before. Go do a practice run with them. They can tell you some of the strategy out there, which green is usually firm and stuff like that. I think you got to just manage your time, make sure you're practicing on what you need to and getting in the amount of holes, and just listen to your body on how many hours you can put in. If you're feeling it, do more. Otherwise, don't overwork yourself before the tournament even started. Don't go playing 18, 18, 18, 18, and then you're playing 3 more 18s in a row. So just
listen to your body.
Feel it all out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's some good advice as well. Cindy, any any final thoughts or questions for Jenny before we let her go and enjoy the rest of her day?
No, I really admire all of your. I think it's your mindset. I think what's so cool about you is that you're kind of just clear and comfortable, and you're kind of chill. And I think that's what you have to be able to be successful on the tour. So I see absolutely great things coming from you. So don't let anybody mess with you. I'm glad that you've been there before, because when you get out there, you've got all these people. I call them the committee of they, and they're, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's like, you know what? Shut up. I got here all by myself, well, with my team, but don't let anybody get in your head, and just stay who you are. So good luck to you. You're going to do great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I concur with Cindy Miller 100%. I think you just got to you have to really play your own game, and that certainly doesn't mean that you don't listen to advice from within your inner circle, if you will, and that. But I think that you just have to go out and play your own game and let your body, dictate what you can do and what you can't do, and if you need to make adjustments along the way, then I think you have got enough experience now under your belt that you can do that on your own, and you're your best guide. So go out and have fun next season. Good luck. I concur with Cindy as well. I think you're going to win next year on the LPGA, and I hope you will come back and join us again sometime.
Great. Thank you so much. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Good luck.
Have
Jenny. Fun.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. That was Jenny Coleman in the number 3 spot this season on the Volvic Race for the Car. Now heading Cindy to the LPGA, to the big stage, if you will. And I think I agree with you a lot, particularly with Jenny. I think she really, obviously you can hear in both of their voices. They're both tired. It's been a tough grind this season, and I think they're just looking for a little bit of rest. But Jenny really seems to have, as you pointed out, and she agreed with, a very analytical mind, and that can work for and against you under certain circumstances. But I think I agree overall with what your assessment was, that she's going to get out there and really take control next year.
Absolutely. Again, I cannot stress enough being out there before and not being brand new and not knowing what you're doing. Trust me, it's really important that you know where you're going and you've been there before and you've had the experience. It's immeasurable. So God bless them both. I hope they do great.
Yeah, I agree. And we're very glad that they're coming here and sharing their story with us here on the Women of Golf Show. We enjoy having these young ladies, these up-and-comers, if you will, as they continue their journey, and we're always happy to share that with you. And Cindy, good luck this week down in Orlando, looking after the grandkids. I know that's a special time for both you and Alan, and then good luck in the weeks to follow at the boot camp. And Cindy, if you want to just remind everybody how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in partaking in one of your boot camps.
Just email me at cindy@cindymillergolf.com, and I would love to help you out.
Perfect. All right. On behalf of Cindy Miller, I'm Ted Odorico. Thank you this morning for joining us here on the Women of Golf Show, and we will see you next week right here. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Thanks, Cindy.
Bye-bye. Have a great week.
Yep.
Thanks for listening this morning to the Women of Golf Show. Tune in live each week by visiting blogtalkradio.com/Women of Golf or on any of these social media platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, CastBox, TalkStream Live, and of course Spotify. If you can't join us live, check out our on-demand section for previously aired broadcasts. To get updates for future shows and upcoming guests, you can follow us on Facebook at Women of Golf. You can also follow me on Twitter at TedandBuckCEO and Cindy at Cindy Miller Golf. Please remember to join us next week on the Women of Golf Show. See you next time. This has been a production of the iGolf Sports Network.